Kevin said, scroll up on the chat just a hair.
Just a hair.
Kevin said, the U.S. Constitution says that if the federal government doesn't protect our borders, then we, the people, have the right to do it ourselves. The Second Amendment isn't only for fighting our own government.
That's right.
There are groups forming online of men to pick up their arms and go to the border. It will be legal because the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Government doesn't care about the Constitution, Kevin. Wait till there's an outbreak of a disease that I'm just fucking with you. I mean, it's true, but I'm just fucking with you. Wait till there's an outbreak of a disease that we have cured here in the States. People don't think about the parasites and diseases that these illegals are bringing with them. The stomach parasites. There will be no outbreak of something like Ebola or malaria or some type of parasite that will spread, then the CDC will institute some type of restriction on us. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, Joe. We all potential spoilers here, Kevin, but I do see that as a possibility. The race argument is only promoted by weak-minded individuals who can't think past the first layer of any issue. Yes, you are correct. And it's those same, like, they do that because they hear a conversation like this and don't have a legitimate critique of what we're saying.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
They're just, they're fucking racist. They just don't want any people here who are a different color.
Racist!
You know?
Yeah.
Just dog shit.
Yeah, and I mean, there is to Kevin's point, there is a reasonable thing to think about when you think about, like, various pathogens crossing the border and stuff like that, because COVID is just going to ruin everything. But more importantly, like polio and malaria and shit like that, which we don't generally deal with up here anymore, but, like, polio is making a comeback. For multiple reasons, but like
here that they don't in other places.
Yeah, that's definitely a legitimate concern. But in response to all of this, we saw videos of them like putting up the containers, the cargo containers along the border in Arizona and stuff like that, who were then ordered to take them down from the federal government. But Greg Abbott has been out there building the fucking wall.
He's putting up wall.
He's putting up the same wall. And I think this is Greg Abbott getting out over his wheelchair skis a little bit, because as it turns out, the reason why the Biden administration has essentially continued construction on said border wall is because the funding was allocated back in 2019 when Trump first got that.
Yeah.
And as we all should remember, that it is illegal for the federal government to not spend the money on the things that it's told to spend money on.
Precisely.
And so they're coming down to the wire now, and they're being forced to continue the construction of the border wall on the southern border. I think they've been looking at about 50 miles or so that's under construction at this point. But there's a thing I did want to bring up to both of you gentlemen, because I have my own issues with the border wall. Mm-hmm. I think if we want to secure the border, we should secure the border, and I think that's a very good idea. But I don't think building a fucking wall is the goddamn way to do it. There's other ways to do it.
It's a way to do it.
It's a way to do it. Because I have a problem with walls, and I have a problem with authority, and I have a problem with government.
Okay.
My main problem with walls is that they can be just as easily used to keep people in as to keep people out. I don't like the fact that if, say, the tyrannical government that we all know exists continues to grow and become even more tyrannical and authoritarian, that those walls won't be barriers to us trying to escape tyranny in some capacity.
Okay.
So I don't trust walls. I don't like the concept of the wall. That's why I'm not a huge build-the-wall guy. Secure the border. I'm a secure the border guy. Word. That's cool. So I don't ever hear about this from the people on the right, more or less, who are super into building the wall. Has that entered into your guys' consciousness at all, the fact that this wall can easily be used to keep people in?
No. And I'm also not a huge build the wall guy. I'm not like an anti-wall guy.
Because I got an angle grinder, I'll cut that bitch down.
Because to me, it makes sense that it's
bitch ass steel over there probably comes from China.
Dude.
To me, it makes sense that it could very easily be implemented as a part of a larger plan to secure the border. You know, so I definitely am not of the thinking that a solid wall across the bottom of the United States will solve the issue. You know, I've never been of that mindset.
Yeah.
So
Cartels are smarter than that.
Right. So I've also never given it too much more thought than that, other than like, yeah, it makes sense that we would have some walls in some parts of the border to stop people from just walking across. But no, I've never considered the key, because immediately I was like, ooh, that's very World War Z Israel, you know. But you're not wrong.
I just don't like it. I don't like walls, man. I don't like that whole. I like my own wall that I control.
Yeah.
But also, again,
The thing is,
just even tactically, you're minimizing your point of exits at that point, regardless.
yeah, but there's so many welders down in Texas. They'll pull up their welding truck and cut down with oxyacetylene torch. That wall will be gone in minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if the cartels are doing it, we can do it too.
Exactly, bro.
mean-
Someone will pull up in a fucking 2022 Cummins and cut that bitch down.
Let's go.
You only
Yeah.
need 2 or 3 dudes to run
Speaking of
security
which,
for you for a
yeah,
couple
You running a
minutes.
Cummins in that beast out there?
No, it's a 5.7, so it's a
okay.
Hemi.
Okay,
But for
there we
what
go.
I need, it's fine.
Beautiful truck. I peeped it through the bathroom window.
Thank you very much.
It's real nice.
We'll check it out after this.
And it's a Ram, so that
It's a
helps.
Ram, brother. It's a Laramie package.
There it is.
Laramie.
Yee, yee. So yeah, that's my immigration shit. It's bad. I mean, I got
Yeah.
videos upon videos of just.
Let's see him.
It's just. I mean, it's.
Let's horrify people.
Whoa.
Let's horrify ourselves.
It's horrifying.
You can pan the camera around. There's another group
one
in the
wants to talk
water
about how much
right
Biden's
now as I'm
increasing.
speaking
That's
to
the
you,
real
trying to
thing,
cross
And they
illegally.
look. There's more
Pretty close
coming
to where
over
that group is. You'll see another
It's
group
not
of
like it's
illegal
just
immigrants
Mexican
street.
families in need crossing this.
No.
There's,
And listen to what he
there's
says.
Muslims smuggling through.
Oh,
I
yeah.
told you the Fox News video that I was watching was all individual unaccompanied males.
Yes.
That's all. And the entire group of people they were letting in intermittently. That's all that it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Individual unaccompanied males.
And that's not to say all Muslims are bad people, but
No.
there are people coming through with ill intent.
And that's not to bring up even like the child trafficking that's going on down there.
Yes.
Which is all. I mean, when you think about like the generalized. What used to be the number one drug coming across the border?
Cocaine.
Weed.
Okay.
Mexican dirt weed, you know?
was wrong.
That's the way it was, right? It all came through
Cocaine's
there.
always been South America. Most of the time, that's coming from the seaboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But once we kind of we started to like relax our outlook on drugs a lot, cartels really shifted their business model to more human trafficking.
Also, opium was huge because that went
Yes.
from the stands.
And that's a huge
Afghanistan,
point for
and
the
then-
decriminalization of drugs, where if we stop criminalizing them, we would stop having to buy
Yeah.
them from shady people.
Yeah, now we're looking at mostly fentanyl coming in from China, so that's fun.
China to
But yeah.
Mexico to here.
And
Listen
you were
to-
talking about the child trafficking just real quick. 'Cause I was also seeing some videos this week of just more like cartel shit, you know, that's being leaked, and they're like, they got gangs of kids, young kids, that they're like drugging to incapacitate them, and then just load them up in fucking bags and just carrying them across the border, in
Yep.
like backpacks and shit.
It's dark, dude.
Yeah, just
Fucking
little kids
dark.
like the girl that we saw that's crawling like the same
Yep.
size that they're being drugged up with whatever to fucking make them unconscious and then put them in bags and just carry them across the border.
I need Penny for this subject for more
Yes.
emotional
Yeah.
support right now.
And when you see that, if I'm taking my kid to another country, I'm not going to drug them and put them in a backpack to walk them there. You're not doing that with your children. Those are
on how
other
much
people's
they
kids
cry.
that you fucking stolen, you know, or that they paid you to take, or whatever, however the situation arose,
Yep.
and that you're now trafficking across the border to live by themselves in another country.
So listen to what this
Or
guy.
maybe with you or someone that they've met a fucking time or two. you
By the
know?
way, what I said
Probably
was
a
a joke.
cartel
Don't
member.
hold me against it. Alright.
So listen to what this Fox News reporter says right here.
Streaming into the river here in Eagle Pass. A body was just recovered here a short time ago. You can see more migrants streaming down the Mexican side of the shore, down to the river's edge, right in front of the Mexican National Guard, right in front of Mexican police, who are doing nothing to stop it. This is something I've been mentioning the last 2 days in a row.
'Cause this is something. So right there, he's talking about how these migrants are coming across the river, right in front of the Mexican National Guard and Mexican police, which means it's a reminder that Border Patrol is not a one-way street.
Right.
Just because you're trying to stop the flow of traffic in one direction doesn't mean that there's another, traffic signal on the other side. And these people Mexico's not doing shit about this.
No.
For reasons, I might add, because the Mexican government is not run by the people. It's not run by the government. I mean, the power of the Mexican government is controlled by the cartels.
Right.
And this is...
Well, we saw last year the fucking open war that they were in with the cartels.
yeah.
They have no ability to control the cartels at any.
No.
They have their actual military, Mexico's military, on the streets fighting the cartels. They have no ability to dictate the behavior of the cartels
They
at
rent
all.
whatsoever.
Digicam. They can't do shit. Let's be honest.
I mean... That's funny, but also it's fucking true.
Yeah.
I mean, we're ripping Digicam. What are you really
What the
doing
fuck are
in
you
life?
doing, dog? Come on.
But
Stop it.
just another video of what it looks like
What the fuck?
on certain
What is
days at the
this?
border. This is one of the worst nights, you know.
this
I mean, there's
email?
good nights, there's
And it's
bad
from
nights.
Univision, so this is Mexican news. This is
Yeah.
the southern border?
Yeah, these are people celebrating that they just got through.
So they're on America's side right now.
Yep. And you can tell who the cartel guys are because they're just sitting back smoking cigs, being like, all right, cool. Let's head back for another paycheck.
What?
Does that
The
dude have a beer in
fuck?
his hand?
It's probably a water, but it might be a
It's,
beer.
it's
It looks a little yellowish, but that might
Yeah.
just be the lighting. Let's see here.
Oh, what does that clown have to say?
This guy. This is real good because this is the new Chicago mayor. But to preface this,
Watching these guys eat shit over the immigration stuff has been
so
really pretty
good,
beautiful.
man.
Fucking
Chicago?
Chicago, New York, the mayors of these different cities who are sanctuary cities, right? You've heard this term
Yes,
before.
yeah.
And so in response to this, tons of these southern governors, Greg Abbott in particular, has been busing and flying a fuckload of immigrants, which we have issues in and of itself, but that's a separate thing. He's been busing and flying a fuckload of illegal immigrants to these cities that are sanctuary cities up in the north, who never deal with illegal immigration.
Yeah.
And so they are now
It's a
flooded.
virtue signal for them to say they're the sanctuary
Yes.
city.
Yeah.
So
They
they
don't
are now
experience it.
flooded with illegal immigrants and
Yes.
have nothing good to say about it and are talking about this is such a blight on our society. And Eric Adams is like, New York is going to be destroyed if
Yes.
we don't do something about this. Like, he literally said that.
yes.
Okay, eat a fucking dick. All across the southern border, they have been doing this every fucking year. Have you been calling them racist and pieces of shit for wanting to do something to secure the border? And now that you have a taste, a morsel of what it is like to live down there,
No,
your
that's
city is
not.
going to fall apart.
Yes.
Right?
And then,
It's
Reap what you sow.
horrific,
If you're
but
gonna
also
talk
kind
about
of
it, be
beautiful to
about
watch.
it.
Yes.
Precisely.
and the really funny thing is that we've kind of found out since Greg Abbott was, and I mean, Ron DeSantis was in
Yep,
league with that too. He
DeSantis,
was
yep.
doing that too. But one of the things that really highlighted was the fact that even while they were doing that and before that, the federal government has been flying and busing
Yes.
people to all these cities anyways. And so Greg Abbott is not bussing out a bunch of people anymore. The federal government are bussing them out. The federal government are sending them to all these sanctuary cities, which is only kind of a coincidence because essentially they just get bused to wherever they want to go.
Yeah.
And the majority of them are trying to go to New York, Chicago, wherever they already have family or roots or something like that. And they're just getting sent up there. They're flown out there. Chicago O'Hare now, the airport,
Big ass
800,
airport.
800 migrants that just are living at the airport right now because they have nowhere else to go. So they're just chilling, being homeless people at the airport. 800 fucking people. But this is the
Several
newly
flights
elected.
of people.
That Martha
Yes.
Vineyard shit gave me a hard
That
time.
was
That gave me a hard
epic.
time. I'm sure you guys talked about it.
Oh, we did.
yes, we did.
Yeah, but,
But yeah, this is the newly elected Chicago mayor, replaced R.I.P. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice ain't around no more.
Wait, he's not?
Lori Lightfoot.
Lori Lightfoot is
Oh,
gone.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
She just looked like Beetlejuice.
You scared me.
Do you know who Lori Lightfoot is?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, because I will happily show you.
I'll miss her,
I know.
dude.
But this was a. This
I'll
is
miss
like
her.
a.
Do you remember when she dressed up like a superhero during COVID?
Yeah, I do.
She did. She put on a mask. And
I
a
saw
cape.
that.
She was like, "We're gonna do this together."
She was a joke.
Is she one of them LGBTs? Okay, I thought so.
She is.
I thought so.
Oh, you know it.
I mean, I don't want to read a book by its cover, but that's a real strong cover.
She caught a bunch. Oh, God damn it! I wish I could remember where I saw it. She left a bad.
This feels grab baggy, but it's not grab baggy.
She
I'm
left a
excited.
bad Yelp review
I'm excited for the grab bag.
on a limousine company or a driver service because they came to her house and were like pushy about trying to get them to come out to the car. And then when she got out to the car, the person in the car asked for like, is there like a man's name or something, you know, that I can, or a man's phone number that I can get to like contact, you know, whenever we're to come pick you up. And she took just very huge offense, you know, that a woman couldn't be the leader of the party or whatever, you know, that they're going out with. And so she left a bad review on that company, and then that company like fired back at her, was like, we spoke to our driver and he disputed what you said. It was like you fucking lied about all this
That's
shit.
right.
It's awesome.
I love it.
She is the worst.
I
What's the
love it.
Chicago mayor got to say?
I wanted to know if there is a capacity limit, and what is that limit, if there is one, and what is why can't we close the borders of Chicago or the state of Illinois in the first place?
First of all, we don't have any ability to shut down a border of a fucking state or a city, I might add.
Right.
Because we never have. So there's
Governor
zero ability to do that.
Governor could shut down a state, but you can't lock down Chicago.
You just can't lock it down, bro. We don't. Our borders don't work like that. They're weird lines.
Why can't we close the borders?
I don't know if there's a limit. I do know that when you are seeking asylum, you are granted protections from the U.S. to not return. So that is the process that folks are going through when they come here, when they get their interview, and then the Texas governor sends them to Illinois.
Also, need to add, they're not getting interviewed because there's zero capacity to do that with hundreds of thousands a day.
Yeah.
That's why they
Tens of
get
thousands a
hearings.
day.
That's why they get dates to come back.
You get a. If you're one of those people
5
that
years
gets
in the
wrangled
future.
up by the border patrol,
Yeah.
nothing happens to you other than you get a fucking manila folder full of money and a bunch of instructions,
Cell phone sometimes.
sometimes cell phone, and you just get, okay, this is what you do when you get to this place. You need to come to this spot on this day. Okay, and then moving on. I don't know what the percentage are of people showing up for their hearings, but I guarantee you it ain't going to be great.
So the story is tons show up for the first, not allowed to show up for the second.
And that's like
that tends to
in
be
the old days. though.
Yeah, yeah,
This
right.
is new. This
kinda
ain't gonna
getting
happen
away
for
from
years.
that. Yeah.
So that's
Because
why I'm
the
like,
dates
nah,
are so
bro.
long
Yeah.
that it used to be that the first day was like, oh, in 3 weeks you need to be at this place, and then it's pretty close. And like, all right, I'll do this one, But yeah, now if they tell you, all right, come back in 7 months and be here,
Word.
yeah,
I'll be there.
The chance that you're even going to remember that date is 7 months from now is very, very low.
Yeah.
And specifically Chicago.
So they get to come, once they do an interview in Texas, they get to come regardless. Texas says you're an asylum seeker, you're being persecuted, so yeah, you can leave your country and come here and go wherever you want.
Not Texas. This is the federal government is the one that does the process around asylum seeking. It is Texas who is making the decision to send them to Chicago.
And that's what I wanted to know. Can we say, no, we won't take any more?
It has to come from the federal government.
That part's wrong. Because he, as the mayor, could be like, bitch, fucking move along, sir.
So it's the same thing that Eric
Stop
Adams
making
is
it a
doing.
sanctuary
Yeah.
city then.
And Eric Adams now, the newly elected mayor of New York City, is now on a fucking goodwill tour down south. He went to Mexico City. He was over in Ecuador the other day. He's setting up all the major spots down south to try to, he's going on a facts-finding mission to figure out what are some of the root causes that lead to this, which I will remind everybody, this was fucking Kamala Harris's job when she got appointed as border czar not that long ago, and then proceeded to do fucking
her photo
nothing.
op down at the fucking border.
Rough
Oh my
business.
There was
God.
another POC whose job it already was to do this. And did we ever get a report from her? Did she ever have to make a presentation to the class, or did we just
No.
we just moved on from that?
We just moved on. This is how it goes.
She showed up to be like, Trump didn't do anything, so I'm going to, and then didn't do anything. Nice. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything.
No. So one of the last things I will leave you with is New York City. One of the places they're putting a bunch of migrants that are coming up in New York City is in Staten Island. And
Oh shit,
I used to live there.
that's not gonna go good.
Okay. No, it's not.
Staten Island's real conservative.
Indeed. They are New York. They're New York Red. If there is a New York Red,
Yeah.
that is Staten Island.
Staten Island
Those
went for-
people are.
went for Trump in 2016.
Yes. And that says a lot.
Yeah.
Living down there. But this is what's happening in Staten Island. When protesters...
Staten Island cops.
Yes. These are NYPD cops,
Holy shit.
because Staten Island is indeed a borough of the city, so they're NYPD cops against protesters in Staten Island saying, we don't want these people.
Unfucking Did you ever think you'd do this in your life? You see this? This is America, right? This is America.
I would not doubt it.
I went and bought some just for that.
What happens to because they refuse to be there.
Do you think that he can wrestle?
Protect, respect players. They protect
They're doing their job because they're mayor.
They care about whatever else they got going on. They don't give a shit about it. They'd rather arrest you and throw you in a fucking cage than you're trying to do their job. You don't want these people.
I'm going to take a picture.
Where are we moving to?
Yep. It's not good.
Wow. I see a couple I'd mess with.
Yeah, it got so bad Elon even went down to the border and was like, yo, what the fuck is actually happening here, okay? I got
Elon
businesses that run here. Yeah, he got hemmed up real hard a couple weeks ago because the feds are just trying to ruin any kind of progress we have in society, so they're coming at Musk hardcore. But he got hemmed up a while back because he was refusing to hire any illegal migrants at SpaceX.
Whoa.
And his business is right on the border, and I go, pause button. Isn't it illegal to hire illegal immigrants?
You would think so, right?
Then we just,
You would think so.
what the fuck?
It's racist to not break the laws.
That's right. It's inhumane and
I
racist.
wouldn't want just anybody building goddamn motherfucking spaceships.
No, dude, you need to be a fucking rocket scientist to build fucking spaceships.
No.
We live in this fake. Everything
This is fake, bro.
It's dystopia,
This is
bro.
all broken.
It's dystopia.
It's a simulation.
To the south of the streets, coming at you every week.